Today I'm going to explain how to create a policy. Okay, here. Okay, now come to the, we are going to learn about the security. So if we learn about how to create a policy into firewalls, our 80 to 90% jobs are going to be done. Because in the daily basis in the office, we have to be create a policy into the firewall. That's it. The users, like we have a multiple users, the request would come into us that this particular source want to access this particular destination IP with this port number. So we have to be create a rules and allow or deny whatever we can do it into the firewalls. Okay. So let's come. Click on add. So creating a policy, you have to be click on add. Once you click on add, there's a tab would open. It's called security policy rule. Okay. So you have to be provide the name of this policy. What is the name of the policy? So just give any name. Just like I want to create a policy that this PC would get access to outside internet, anything. Okay. The destination would be any. I don't know. Not specific. Okay. Okay. So let's come. I will give the IP of this PC as a source. This one is a source and destination is anything. Let's see. So give the name that LAN. Let's suppose this PC is my inside zone, so it's a LAN PC. Okay, and outside we know that it's called a outside zone is called a WAN. WAN means what? Wide area network. It means which is connected with the internet. So those things we call WAN. Okay, so I'm just going to give a name for LAN to WAN. That's fine, guys. Okay, so now I want to show you something. Into the second tab, you just see rule type. Okay, what is rule type? Just drag, just open it. Yeah, you will see one is interzone, then intrazone, then is universal. So we already aware of what is interzone, what is intrazone. We know that, right? So interzone is by default. Intrazone, we know that into the same zone. Okay, interzone 1 to 1. Universal is also going from one zone to other zone, but need to be allowed. Okay, need to be allowed. So always make sure whenever you are creating a policy, your rule type would be universal. All the time. We are going to use universal only. That's clear, guys? Okay, universal zone, nothing it means going from one zone to other zone, but it should be allowed. That's it. Okay, it's just a meaning. No need to think about universal zone. Whenever you're creating any policy, it should be universal because interzone and intrazone is already there. So always use, if you create a multiple hundred of rules, rule type always universal. No need to change. It should be default. It is coming as a default. That's clear. Here is a description. If you want to add anything like a comment, like I want to comment like going from LAN to internet, just anything. Okay, it could be anything. Description. Tag, I will show you later on the object groups. What is tag? Tag is nothing to marking, like put a color on it. That's it. It's not technical, nothing else. Group rules by tag. If you want to tag by your group rules, we can do even the same thing like a tag. Audit comment. Okay, just leave it audit comment. If you want to put any comment for the audit, you can put. Okay, so in this tab, general tab, what we require, just give the name. That's it. That is enough. Only put the name. That is enough. All are by default. Leave it like this. Come to the source. Okay, so this is a source tab, guys. Okay, so this is a source tab. Always make sure if you're creating any policy in the source tab, what we need to put the information. First, you are able to see source zone. As I said, as I explained, our firewall is just zone based. Okay, click on the source zone, go to the add and type which zone. Actually, my traffic is going from inside to outside. Just choose inside zone. Okay, because this PC belongs to inside zone. Okay, the source is my inside zone. I'm choosing inside zone. Source zone is inside. That's fine. What is my source address? So you can see by default it is chosen any. It's tick on any. Any means what? Any means everything, all the traffic, all subnet, all network, everything is allowed. But if you want to specific put the any source IP address, you can. If you want to put any IP address, if you want to put any subnet or network, it will be allowed. Okay, so that's how. So if you want to put any IP address details, so likewise, I want to give 172.16.1.0. Like I want to allow the subnet. Okay. So space, if you want to put on any, it's fine. If you want to give any specific IP address, one IP, it's also fine. So once I click, I have seen that many of subnet. Okay. This is a by default, it's coming. Okay. You can select it if you want. What are the country stuffs? We will see later. Okay. When the object would come. So don't think about anything. Just type add. Okay. In the tab, just type your IP. So I'm not going to put IP address of the source. I'm going to use a subnet like 172.16.1.0/24. So I'm going to use that subnet as a step. 172.16.1.0/24. So you can add multiple different network event. Okay, whatever the source zone, whatever, if you have any other PC, any other subnet which is in the inside zone, you can add multiple things. Like if I want to add any other IP, 172.16.1.1, I know it is already covered in the above subnet, but I just want to demonstrate you can add multiple things. Okay, you can add multiple things. Even just I want to, even you, if you want 1 to 1 to 1 any IP. Okay guys, anything you can add. Likewise, whatever the subnet, multiple. Okay, if you want to delete anything, just select it, just delete from there. If you want to remove anything, okay, so I just delete. I want to keep only 172.16.1.0 as a source user. When we will learn about the source ID, app ID, those things, those time we will able to see. Source device, you can also even identify the device, like what is the PC IP, the same thing. Okay, by the MAC address. So it is not much useful. Only consider on the source address. Okay, that is very much important. So on the source tab, source zone, which zones actually the traffic is initiating, that is you need to define, and you need to define what is the subnet or IP addresses belongs to or want to initiate a traffic as a source address. Okay, that's fine. Now come to destination. Here destination. So here also again you need to select the traffic is going from inside zone to which zone. It is going to outside zone. Okay, so that's how you have to be define a rule. Source zone, where sources belong to inside zone, and destination is belongs to outside zone. So destination is outside zone, so you have to define your destination zone. So likewise, if you have a multiple zone in your office, you have to be defined like this: which zone, where actually your destination is belongs, that is belongs in outside zone. Destination address, I want to put any, because this PC want to access the internet, anything in the internet, nothing defined. Okay, if it is defined anything, any specific subnet or any specific network or any specific IP address, you can just put the go to add and put the IP addresses or subnet or net. Okay, but I want to keep any only. Now come to the application. So guys, see that applications, it means those are the services which is running on L4 L7, that is means applications. Like if I select on any, like add, if I select if I click on add, I will see those are the application like telnet. See, we can get it telnet. If you want to allow telnet, if you want to allow SSH, okay, SSH, see that. If you want to allow any other applications, there are multiple of by default applications already defined here. Okay, so you can see any other application, even you can mention like google.com, Google. Let's see if coming or not. Let's see the Google base is used for the Google connecting with. So it's all dependent, whatever that by default application are there, you can even choose from here. Okay, make sure. So just like I have taken this example, that's it. Okay, and these are applications, what it's a services. Okay, that's a services. If you want to delete anything, like I want to delete Google base, I will delete from here. Like I want to delete anything. If you want to delete, if you want to add Now come to services. I need to explain the application and services differences. See that if you come to the services, the services is actually working on L4, okay, an application working on L7. So in the services, if I put this, see that this is a by default HTTP and HTTPS, okay, that is by default services. That's a TCP, okay. So if I put a telnet here, I'm not getting here telnet because telnet by default you are getting at the application tab. But if because I know the port number of telnet, if I create any custom services, we can even create. Just go to the new. I want to create any custom service for telnet. Just give the name telnet. What is the protocol? Telnet is a TCP protocol. If you want to create any protocol for UDP, you can select it and just give a port number of telnet. What is the port number of telnet? 23. Just give it 23. That's it. The name is actually okay. I was given the talent. Just okay. It came, guys, with the name. This is a custom I have created. So, guys, no, see, even in the application and the service URL, you can choose anyone. Even both, if you select, that's fine. Both are as a services. Like if I remove SSH and telnet, nothing I will choose from the application. Nothing. Even I remove any even nothing. I can even create a SSH. If I go to the ad and type SSH, I will getting nothing for the application. Nothing. Okay, it's not there because SSH is by default in the application. So if you want to allow SSH either in the application, you will allow it. Either if you're not able to find it, come to services. You can create your custom service whenever if you're aware of the port. Okay. If you create any new port details, you can just create a SSH port, whatever it is. Okay. I know the SSH port is 22. That's the custom is already created. So that's how you can create your custom, services here. Custom services if it is not well defined, if it is not defined. Okay. Now come to the action. What is the action? Okay. One more thing. If you see here URL, okay, URL category is what is URL? URL is means blocking, like facebook.com, google.com. So those things actually called URL. So if I want to block anything, okay, likewise, see that abortion, abuse, drugs, adult, these are kind of a proxy settings. Okay, so like here it is working as a proxy. So those things actually we can gambling, see that gambling, games, government officials, any website which is belongs to government, okay, American government, Indian government, all over the world, okay, those going to be allowed or going to be blocked, it all depend on the action. So those things you can choose from here. Even hacking, okay, so this is health and medicine. That's how actually the like social media. So actually the all the traffic which is going to the internet, those are by default defined actually high risk. Home and garden, so some like you want to allowed home and garden, but you don't want to allowed health and medicine for some users, so you can create a two policy. Okay, or either like you don't want to allowed anything like which is belongs to government or hacking, any job search, like you want to block a job search, you can block it. So what is this actually? In this job search, actually what Palo Alto does in this job search, whatever the URL for job, whatever the website for job search like naukri.com, bath.com, monster.com, indeed.com, whatever it is, those all URL is already is part of in the job search. It is it is already defined there. Okay, so that is by default it is there. And it's if any new job portal would come, suppose, so we no need to think. Palo Alto guys will will get those information and will add it into the job search. So this is called content based blocking. Okay, it's like a working as a proxy. So those are the information. If you want to allow or block, you can select it accordingly and block it. Like I don't want to allow and block. I just want to let's keep it like any. So that's how you can choose. Now come to the action. Okay, so action is how many types of action setting. If you see, action is allow. So guys, what is the meaning of allow? Allow means, so like, okay, this is my firewall, this is my sorry internet, this is outside zone, and
Or
this is my inside
lowest
zone.
bit of IP address, that is the
Okay.
VLSM.
So what I'm going to do, I have allowed 172.1.1.0/24 as a source IP, as a source subnet, actually as a source. Okay. Destination I have put any. Okay, that's fine. Any. So now, so if you create any policy, it will, what it will ask? It will first ask for source zone. It will ask for source zone. Then it will ask for source IP. Then it will ask for destination zone. Then it will ask for destination IP. Okay. And then it will ask for application, whatever, if you choose the application from there. Then it will ask for services. As I explained, application and services almost same, not same, but almost 90% same, is for using as a services. And then there is a action, guys. Okay. So what is action? I want to explain the action. So for the, so here source zone we are choosing it, the source is belong to this source inside zone. Okay, that's fine. Source IP is, actually I'm using a subnet 172.16.1.0/24. Destination, as I'm going to use internet, so I have keep destination as any. Okay. Sorry, my bad. Destination zone. Zone is outside, so I have selected out. And destination IP, I want to use the internet. I don't know where it actually go, because in the internet there are lots of multiple URL and everything, YouTube, Facebook. So I don't know the IP address of those things. I just keep any. Okay, so it means it will already by the any, it will reach to anywhere. Okay. App services I have used like HTTPS, and even I have given a telnet. That's for the testing. Okay. SSH. Okay. These are the services I'm going to use for. Okay, that's fine. That differential, that's all information is fine. Action, what would be the action? So action would be, I am going to allow the traffic. Okay, first action is allow. So if I will allow it, and then I will save the configuration, what would happen? This subnet will able to pass to, will able to get a internet access. This one is able to, it means this traffic is successfully passing from the firewall, will allow this traffic from it. Okay, firewall will allow this traffic. Okay, that is done. If it is allowed, that is done, no need. It is successfully done. It means this subnet successfully able to use internet. Okay, this port only, whatever the port you have defined. Okay, now come here. So if I see that there is a one more option, deny. Okay, if I will, in the same policy, if I will, instead of allowed, if I will deny it, so what would happen? If I will deny it, if I will deny it, the same source, this subnet will going to internet. It is, and on these services, actually it is blocked. So whenever this subnet will access to anything on the internet, anything for this, only these services, anything but only for these three services. Out of this can be accessible, but only for these services, whatever we have defined, HTTPS telnet SSH. This is defined. This is deny. It means it is not going to pass. It, firewall will block it. Okay, that is fine. Now we know what is the meaning of allow and what is the meaning of deny. Okay, that's very easy, very simple. Okay, now come next, guys. What is the meaning of drop? As we can know that if I select drop, there's option. Okay, in the action there are, I can see six options. We know that what is the meaning of allow, what is the meaning of deny. If you choose option drop, what would happen? So if you choose option drop action is actually the same as deny. Okay, guys, drop action is actually the same as deny. But what is the meaning of, if you choose option drop means it will drop the connection. Okay, it will drop the connection, but there would be no logs. No log. There would be no log. Log means what? Monitoring logs. It will not define. It will not show anything that firewall is blocking the traffic. On the deny, well, on the deny, when the firewall is denying any packet, on the deny option, it will even, in the monitoring tabs, it will show the logs that firewall is denying this packet. Firewall is terminating this packet. Okay. But if you choose a deny, it is silently blocking it. What is the meaning of drop? Drop means firewall. Firewall is silently dropping the connection. That's it. It is dropping the connection, but silently means what? Silently dropping the connection. It means firewall will not send any kind of log for it. This is the difference between deny and drop.